So Garry, congratulations. How are you feeling? Talk us through the fight.
Yeah, I'm very excited about my performance. This was a huge card that I was really gunning to get on. I was so excited to have the opportunity to be here. I came, I saw, I conquered, man. You know, I came into the cage, and my original plan was, let's see how he responds to pressure. I started moving, feinting. I wanted to see if he was either going to push back or walk backwards. He decided to walk backwards, responded to the feints, and of course in doing so, eventually you can only walk so far before you hit a cage, and I'm sure he didn't want to be there, so he made a forward movement. His first forward movement, low kick. So because he chose that low kick, I'm programmed, man. You throw that kick, I'm coming in for the takedown. And it just felt as like a knife through butter, man. Not anything against him, just like that's a drill we've done 1,000 times before. All right, the guy throws a kick, I duck in and take my opponent down, and it just felt perfect. Immediately got the takedown. He tried to cover my head a little bit, so it was a little struggle to move. Then he continued to cover the head, so I decided to push him towards the cage. Once we got up against the cage, it got worse and worse for him. He was more and more restricted. I was able to do damage the entire time, constantly off balancing, changing positions, landing strikes. He did a good job of controlling my hands at certain moments. I landed some tough knees, some tough elbows, some tough punches, hooks, straight punches, really as much damage as I think I could have done. At a certain point, I want to say somewhere around 30 seconds to a minute into that fight, I decided that I was just going to win via TKO. That's what I wanted to do. I think there was an opportunity to take his back, which I had, and I think you'll see it on tape, and I chose not to take the back. I was close. I was like, should I go for the strangle? I said, nope, let's go for this TKO. I want to see how that goes. I think it was an exciting fight because of that. I probably could, yeah, like I said, I probably could have ended a little bit earlier, but I showcased just what grapple box can do in a cage, you know, just how dominant it can be, how getting a hold of somebody and constantly striking, wearing them down, you know, can really damage an opponent over time. It's one thing to grapple and hold on to people, and it's a lot of what was taught in the early days. You get to side control, you squeeze, you make sure you can't get out. And it's another thing to hold on to somebody with one arm, hit him with the other. When he goes to move, put him back down, hit him again. It's a totally different system. And I'm so happy that I'm making leaps and bounds and getting better and better at that system.
We talked about it before, your transition from BJJ to mixed martial arts. Specifically, how much do you enjoy the fact of adding the pound and ground to your already dangerous submission game?
Man, I love it. That's why I chose to do the TKO instead of submission today. I felt like that's what I wanted to do. I'd been training to do it. I'd been working on these grapple box drills where I'm hitting with power, and I really wanted to showcase my ability to do that. I haven't got to watch it yet, so I can't 100% say. I know he didn't like it. I could see it in his face. I could hear it. You know, and obviously eventually they stopped the fight. Man, I love the grapple box. I really do. It's great. It's a great addition to your submission arsenal. One of the most frustrating things I think to a submission grappler like myself, who really loves to try to open people up and attack, is people that try to stall. Whether stalling means running away or whether stalling means just kind of like holding on to you and trying to stall position. That's tough to do when you can punch somebody in the face. It really changes things. There really isn't too much stalling going on. It's a difficult thing to do, especially when they allow knees to a grounded opponent in this organization, which I love. Now, even if the opponent's just trying to play the rules, put a hand in the ground, and my hands are tied up, he holds on to my hands, I still have my knees, man. And it's just so hard to get away from that danger. And I think he found that it was difficult to do that tonight. And I think my submission grappling mixed with the grapple box game is growing. And I'm excited to see where it's going to take me, man. There's so much more to do, so much more to conquer, and I'm pumped about tonight.
I don't think you're the only one excited to see how far you're going to go in this journey. But ask, could you hear your mum in the crowd?
I didn't this time. I usually do. She's got a pretty penetrating voice, to say the least. My mom is, she's wild, man, and she's so supportive. To come all the way out here to Japan, it was very nice of her. My aunt came as well, and it's so great to have family and friends here, man. It makes you feel so comfortable. I know that when I was on the bus ride here on my way to on my way to the venue, I'm like watching videotape like I always do, just Mike Tyson and different guys. And dude, my heart was racing. I was just imagining myself being on the receiving end of like Mike Tyson's punches. And then I'd watch a kickboxer, Denny Bill, and I'd imagine myself being on the receiving end of the kicks. And I'm like, oh, my heart's pounding, right? And then I look over, you know, at my friends, and then I get back to the backstage, and I'm talking to my cornermen, and they make me feel relaxed. We're all joking around, and it calms my nerves back down. And it's just so great to have friends and family with me. I'm so lucky to have, you know, people like that in my life that are willing to, you know, sacrifice so much, you know, and travel and come out here with me.
Lastly, you didn't call out anyone specifically, but you kind of called out almost the whole division. What next for you?
Man, everybody's been asking me that, what's next, and I have a lot of confidence in One Championship and their ability to promote their events as well as their athletes. I think that whatever it is that they have in store for me next, whatever opponent they're thinking is going to be exciting, is going to put on a great show, I'm ready for. I put the division on notice because this is the thing, man. I'm only going to become more of a problem for everybody. You know, I just fought an opponent who's much more experienced, devastating knockout power, and I put him away under control and didn't take damage. I'm only going to be able to develop that ability more and more in the future. I am not going to become an easier opponent in the future. There's no way that's happening. My opponents, on the other hand, are more experienced. They've been in this game a long time. The likelihood that they're going to be improving at the rate that I'm improving, not so much. So I'm just encouraging them, hey man, if you want to pick a fight, you should probably pick a fight with me right now, because now's the best time to do it. A couple of years, it's going to be impossible. I'm going to be unbeatable.
That just leads me to one more question actually then. Maybe not who, but when do you want to fight next?
When do I want to fight next? As soon as possible. Whenever they'll clear me to fight. They're pretty good about that in this organization. They'll let people fight pretty early. I can't really say for sure because I'm not usually allowed to talk about it, but we haven't negotiated any other fights, but there could be one in the very near future. We'll see how it goes. I would love to. I wanted to try to squeeze in at least 3 to 4 fights a year. The only reason I didn't fight immediately after my last fight is because I wanted to make sure I was here healthy for this card because it's such a huge event. And I was, thank God, everything went well, my body was fine. But now I want to keep getting that experience in. I want to keep fighting. Whenever they want to put me back on a card, I'm ready to go. And whoever they want to put me against, I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
We're ready to watch you. Cheers, my man.
Thank you, man.
Top man. Thank you.